All right, what's going on, guys? Today I am bringing back the lowrider go-kart, which is the, semi-lowrider inspired go-kart that I built completely from scratch using basically only just a rear axle kit. I haven't touched this thing in probably close to 2 years. Wow, it's really been that long? Wow. All right, well, there are some changes I would like to do to this thing. Oh, wow. Look at that chain. Probably isn't going to crank. It's still got some fuel in there. No way. Come on, baby. So the engine still runs, which is a huge surprise, but my plans for today include making it look better as well as drive better. So one thing I'm going to be changing for sure is the clutch that's on it. That clutch on there is probably 10 years old almost. It has been on multiple go-kart projects. It has been used a lot over the years. And, I think it had a great run. But it's definitely starting to show its age. So yeah, it's got to be changed. So I'm going to be using this generic go-kart clutch right here on the go-kart. And that is going to definitely help the driving situation. And that is the clutch that is going to replace that old clutch right over there. I am also going to add a floorboard in this area right here. Because as I explained in a past video, whenever you drive this thing around on the road, the backs of your shoes are always scraping against the concrete because this thing is so low. So I'm going to put a floorboard right here, probably some kind of piece of plywood or something, so that I never have that problem again. And finally, I am going to also make a slight modification to this little steering thing. I'm going to chop it off because it's a little bit long. I'm probably going to shorten it to a length right about here. Take the piece and make it and put it, sideways like this, so I can grip it like this with my two hands instead of like this. So yeah, that is pretty much what I'm going to be doing today. And then after I'm finished making all the changes, I'm going to go for a little bit of a drive. So I honestly forgot how the steering worked on this thing. It looks like I have these door hinges with these other hinges that are attached with the, for the lack of a better word, tie rods on this thing. I think those are ball bearing hinges. They look great. They're not bending at all. And then, yeah, I have this little thing that turns it back and forth. Very simple and rigid, like a boat. Also, this old brake assembly, it looks like this cable actually goes through the brake pedal, wraps around, and has these two little things that hold it in place. Which is ingenious in itself. And then, yeah, I've got a drum brake on there. And they work. They work really good. This thing isn't bad at all. I was thinking I was going to come back and be like, wow, what was I thinking when I built this? But it's pretty solid still. So I've got parts, tools, and the go-kart. So what is going to be the first step here? The first step is going to be removing the old clutch. It's been on so many go-karts, but you know what? We got a new one, so let's do it. It's actually pretty strange looking back on this clutch assembly. It's kind of crazy looking at the way I attached it onto the shaft. Basically, I have this super long bolt that goes in, and then this is the bolt that actually tightens the clutch and holds it in place. It looks ridiculous, but it works. It's pretty surprising. All right. Just got to get that bolt to break loose. Maybe I should get a screwdriver or something. All right, little screwdriver action going on here. I do not recommend doing this on a clutch that actually works, just jamming screwdrivers in between the little things going on. There we go. Oh, yeah, as expected, I'm gonna need to take off the chain. Oh, there we go. Just gotta get that master link off. There we go. There's the old clutch. She is pretty rusty. Makes sense why this thing has been grinding for a while. And in with the new. So the new clutch is on. The chain actually fit. It'll be exactly the same as before. All right, so that's phase one. Phase two, I guess I'll just do the general repair. Make sure all the bolts are still tight. Maybe tighten up some screws if I need to. And, you know, that sort of stuff. Nothing too exciting. I'm wondering why these screws didn't stay in place. It works just fine on the brake pedal. For some reason, it just doesn't work on the gas pedal. Well, we're gonna replace these screws because obviously it stripped the wood inside here, unfortunately. But I've got some screws right here, so that's not gonna be a big issue. They are a little bit long, so I'm probably just gonna have to cut the ends off. But it'll be on the front of the go-kart anyway, so it'll never be a problem. These are reused screws, by the way, in case you were wondering why they had like stuff on them. I do not recommend reusing screws, but I'm a cheap ass, so that's what I'm doing. All right, so I did the inspection. All the bolts are tight, and I fixed the gas pedal like you saw in the previous clip. And also, as mentioned, the screws were protruding out, so I cut the ends off as much as I could. It's not perfect, but it'll be fine. The next thing I think I'm going to work on is that floorboard that I was talking about so that I can put by the pedals. It's probably going to take a little bit of time. I'm hoping that I have a piece of plywood in the shop that is the right size. Otherwise, I'll have to bring out the table saw, and I don't really want to do that, so fingers crossed. All right, so this is what I came up with. Unfortunately, I could not find any plywood that was the exact size that I needed. So I found two pieces of plywood that were, you know, within the ballpark, and I attached them. They are certainly not the greatest looking pieces of wood, but also not the worst. They do get the job done. I understand it does not look very pretty, but let's be real, this go-kart doesn't look very pretty anyway, so what difference does it make? All right, so what's left? Steering, and then I can start up the engine and I can go for a ride. I'm thinking right about there is where I'm gonna wanna cut. Just to note, guys, I should definitely be removing this piece of wood and securing it to a workbench before I do this. But you know what? I'm gonna do it anyway. Do as I say, not as I do, people. So here's the cut that I'm doing. I wish it was straighter than that. I'll be honest. It's kind of a crap job. But at this point, I really don't care. It'll be fine. I'll try it from this side. This is not as easy as it looks. Bam, got it. All right, so here it is. This is what we've got. So I cut off the end like you saw in the previous clip, and I sanded it down like absolute crazy. And then I have this piece of wood that goes across that I can grip my hands onto. All right, so that is basically everything on the list that I wanted to do, except for one important thing: go for a test ride. All right, start it up. It is time for the third official startup. First drive in 2 years. I still have to do some steering adjustments though. It's still not perfect. This thing is nice. All right, well, I like it so far, but that steering still needs another adjustment. I think I need to maybe shorten that piece of wood a little bit and put another screw in to prevent it from moving around. Maybe figure out the ratio a little bit. Keep going. Oh. Stopped in the middle of the road. This is what I get for not installing a reverse gear, right, guys? Oh, no, it's not gonna do it. I almost got it. Okay, here we go. We're off. I gotta figure out a way to get this thing to turn sharper. Drives better than it ever has. All right, let's try to go up here. Oh no, this is a bad idea. Come on, make it, you can do it. Come on, baby. Oh man, going on an uphill start, that's the scariest thing on this. Wow, I can't believe the chain didn't fall off. Nothing much, just a nice relaxing ride. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna do a top speed run. Well guys, this thing is really taking shape. I only have 2 complaints, and that is of course the steering is still, you know, kind of an issue. I have to fix that somehow one way or another. Also, I need to tighten up the chain a little bit. This thing bounces like crazy when you're accelerating. Well guys, that was a pretty good ride on this kart for the first time in 2 freaking years. And by the way, for the top speed, I will show you guys right now how fast this thing goes. And it's just like I wanted it to be, you know, somewhere between 15, 20 miles an hour. Again, it was never intended to be a fast go-kart. It was meant to be a cruiser instead. All right, but that's pretty much it, guys. I appreciate y'all watching. Tell your friends, tell your family, let everybody know about me, Zach FTW. Stay awesome.